Hello everybody, it's Jen Kehoe, GB's most decorated winter Paralympian, with my teammate Menna Fitzpatrick and gold medalist from the 2018 Winter Paralympics. I am delighted to be part of Wiltshire Council's Ask the Athlete scheme, where some of you have sent in some questions that I'm going to answer for you now. So without further ado, I'm going to get to the questions. Oh, in case you're wondering what I'm doing in the middle of spring in bobble hat and thick winter jacket, Menna and I should have been out in the mountains training at the moment, so I'm missing it a bit, and I'm just trying to get into the spirit and start to feel a bit wintry. So got my ski boots on, got my winter gear on, sat in my ski chair, ready to go. So without further ado, to the questions. Question 1 and 2 are from Zach Jamé, age 9. Thank you, Zach. How old were you when you learned to ski? I was 9. I moved to Switzerland when I was 9 with my family and went to the local school. Oh, there's a dog in the background, who taught. We went away to the Alps every year for a week, so I learnt to ski like that, and then just did it a lot with my family, and when we moved back to the UK I went again with school a few times. And then racing, I didn't get into racing until I was about 20, when I joined the army, and then went away with my regiment and learnt to race, which was amazing. Okay, question 2 from Zach. How fast are you going downhill when you are racing? Good question. We go at speeds up to and over 70 miles an hour, which is faster than you go on the motorway in the UK. Pretty fast and very fun. Okay, question 3, which is from Paul Wenlock. Thank you, Paul. What exercises do you do to maintain your fitness level away from skiing? We do loads of exercises. We've got a strength and conditioning coach who writes a program for us, and we try and do a mixture of strength, so weights, heavy weights in the gym, lots of squatting and bench press, kettlebells, that kind of thing. And then we do plyometrics and cardio, so box jumps, pistol squats, that sort of thing. And then a mix between either rowing, cycling, running, anything that gets your heart rate and builds cardio endurance. Question 4. How have you and Menna stayed in touch during lockdown, and how has lockdown impacted your training plans? Well, Menna and I have been in touch quite a bit. We chat on WhatsApp. We did a Zoom workout last week, which was brilliant to keep us motivated. And yeah, so we're in touch quite a lot of the time, even when we're at home, not with each other. Lockdown has had a big impact on our training plans, because obviously all of the mountains in both the UK and abroad are closed for very good reasons. So we've had to stay. We're staying home like everybody else, and we're just waiting for the go ahead, for the governments in the nations that we normally train, Switzerland and Austria, to say it's okay for us to travel, and for the UK government to say it's okay to travel, and then we will hopefully get back out skiing. But until then, we're training hard at home and just trying to make the best of the tricky situation that we find ourselves in, like I imagine everybody is, and being creative with our gym sessions, using making things at home and trying to keep things interesting. Okay, so on to question 5. How do you balance being in the army with your training and racing, and what tips would you give a young athlete? That question's from Elise Jones from Malmesbury. Hey Elise, good to see you in January. And a great question. So for those of you that don't know, I am also in the British Army. I'm a major in the Royal Engineers, and the Army have been really supportive of everything I am doing with Menna, and so they released me full time to train and compete at the Paralympics in 2017 and 2018, and then for the last 7 months I have been on a training course with the Army. So the way it works for me is I'm allowed to go and do my sport when I need to, but when I need to do courses or do training to make sure I'm current for my Army job, then I jump back in and do that. So it's my responsibility to keep both fit and strong for my sport, and also to keep trained and current for my Army job. I'm very excited this week because it is the 75th anniversary of Victory in Europe Day at the end of the week, and so there's loads of stuff going on. And if you want to find out more information, I think there's some stuff on the website, on the Wiltshire Council website, so you can go and have a look. But yeah, it's a great celebration for a very important date. And just back to your question, Ailey, what tips would I give a young athlete? I think the main tip, and I think we talked a little bit about this. So what tip would I give a young athlete? I think probably the question you're asking is, what would I give a dual career athlete? And I would say you need to be really disciplined in your training, and make sure that you set aside enough time for both your school work or your college work and also for your training, and be really, really clear about what time is set aside for which, and then also communicate with both your tutors at college or school and also your coaches to make sure that you can balance all the priorities that you've got, and so you can ask for help when things get a bit too much, if the pressure's too high, and you've got everybody on your side to help you manage all of that, because it can be really difficult, but it absolutely is manageable. Okay, great question, thank you. So on to number 6. What future goals and ambitions do you have in skiing, and have you planned for life after competitive skiing? That's from Anne Holt in Trowbridge. The immediate goal is just to stay really as fit and healthy as possible, so that when we do get to go out on snow again, we're ready. And the next step after that, I think, is just to be able to go skiing again. It's been quite a long time since I've been. So those are the immediate goals. But then medium to long term, we've got the World Championships hopefully coming up in 2021. And then in 2022, all being well, we should have the Winter Paralympics again in Beijing. So there are 2 big events that Menna and I will be working towards, assuming that coronavirus doesn't put a spanner in the works. Life after competitive skiing, who knows? I'm not hanging up my boots just yet, so I'll let you know when I know. Thank you for that, Anne. Question 7. Do you have a pre-race strategy for coping with high pressure moments and nerves? So yes and no. We do have a pre-race strategy, and we do have ways of coping with high pressure moments and nerves, but it's not necessarily the same every time. One of the things that we try to do to relieve the high pressure is we sing Disney songs, and 2 of our favourites would be Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious or Hakuna Matata. And the song that got Menna and I through a lot of our high pressure moments in I've forgotten the name of the song. That's not good. It's Lady Gaga. Can't remember the name of the song. I'll come back to it. So, great question. Thank you, Colin Frayling from Salisbury. Question 8. Can you give 3 top tips on how you stay motivated during lockdown? And that's from Dave Tommitz from Melksham. Thank you. 3 top tips. Stay connected with your friends and family. have a daily and a weekly plan. So set aside, write out when you're going to do things and stick to it, and make sure you're getting up at a sensible time and going to bed at a sensible time. And finally, my third top tip is get a fitness group going, or find a mate to arrange a Zoom fitness session with, and hold each other to account, because you're much more likely to stick to it if you've got somebody to meet up with virtually, and it makes it way more fun. So they're my top tips. Stay connected, have a plan and a diary that you stick to, and arrange for a Zoom fitness session to hold each other to account and make sure you do your training. Okay, question 9. Do you keep a diary or photo journal for your sporting experiences? And that is from the Wiltshire Council History Centre team. That's a great question, and the one thing I regret from the Paralympics is not keeping a diary from that time. However, I do share quite a lot of stuff on social media, on Instagram, and write some fairly long posts on that, so that's kind of a diary as well. And I do keep various other diaries in so sports diaries and stuff. So yes, I am documenting my journey, although it definitely could be better. And I think it's just such a lovely way of going back and remembering what had happened over that time. And I know I've got a diary from when I was deployed to Afghanistan on tour in 2012, and I found that the other day, had a look at some of the things that we got up to and remembered some of the experiences from that. So it's an amazing thing to do, and can definitely help bring it back to life when you've forgotten what was going on. And final question then is, looking back, what advice would you give to your younger self or someone at the beginning of their sporting career? That's from Ashley Cormack from Swindon. Good question. I think the one thing I would tell my younger self is to be less afraid of taking risks and believe in yourself. It's taken me a long time to believe in myself and to know that I could do this. So yeah, believe in yourself and find somebody who believes in you. So a friend or a family member, brother or sister who will tell you that you can do it, because actually having somebody telling you that is quite important and can be really important. Great questions, everybody. Thank you very much. And now it is time for the weekly challenge. So my challenge to you is to do a plank for as long as you can. Here we go. So you can either start off on your elbows like this, or if you want to make it harder, you can go up to full extension. Ski boots are optional, and I'm going to hold it for as long as I can. So that's my plank challenge to you. I managed to get over 2 minutes, 2 minutes 4. So if you can get over 2 minutes, you'll be doing brilliantly. Let me know what your scores are, and post them, share them on the Wiltshire Council social pages. That's it from me and from Samson on the skiing questions for this week. Thank you so much for the great questions and for tuning in. If you want to know anything else about either staying active during lockdown or any top tips, check out the Active Wiltshire website, and don't forget to tune in next week and send your question in for the fabulous Shelley Rudman, who will be in the slot next time. Take care, stay safe.